Hello everyone. So today we'll be talking about CSS specificity. So what it means, I'll show you guys now. Open with code, and now I'll create another index.html. Every day I create fresh index.html and styles.css to have you guys the practice to create new files and create this HTML boilerplate by hitting HTML5 or clicking it will also do it. Okay, now I'll open styles.css. This is external CSS. We need to link it. I also do this to link the styles every day, so you guys have practice. It is getting styles directly here because it's in the same folder, YouTube demo. It's in the same folder, so we just type styles.css, or you just type cs, it will suggest you and you can just click it. All right, so css specificity, meaning it is the algorithm used by browsers to determine the css declaration that is most relevant to an element. Meaning if I use multiple selector, we all know id selector, class selector, we don't know type selector, so I've opened it here. So type selector, we've also used it. It's basically element selector. We can target all the element of HTML, like all the spans or all the heading, all the paragraphs. We've seen it in the previous videos, but let's go ahead and have a look at it again. Hello world, let's say, and let's use the class para here. It's hidden because of my extension inline fold. Let's disable it for now so you can see the class. I had to reload the browser to make it effective. Yes, so I used class and I'll use another id, paragraph, let's say. All right, so let's use the universal selector. So let's read the specificity class, which states that type column or element selector will have 001. So let's say 1 point, only 1 point. It has power of 1, let's say. It's very weak, it has like only 1 power, and the class column has like 10 power, let's say, for better understanding. 10 power, and id has 100 power. Id has 100 power, so id is the most powerful one here. Element or universal selector, which I have shown you previously, targets everything. Let's add color red and let's open it with live server. All right, so yes, the paragraph became red, so it is the lowest one according to MDN. It has no value, almost 000. It has 1, so let's overwrite it by this. Let's target the p tag, color green. Yes, so it became green. I also wanted to teach you guys how to incorporate more color from color hunt. Color hunt, I've used it a lot of times. You can just pick any color and click here, it will be copied, and then you can just use the hash and then the color. The same color will be applied here now. Yes, it did indeed. All right, so we've used the class selector, which has 10 power, let's say. This has 0, the universal selector, but it did work at first. Let's comment it out and let's see if the text becomes red. Yes, it does. So now we can use the element selector. This is an HTML element p. I'm targeting the p here, and I'm setting the color to be this, which I got from here. I can also select this, let's say, then overwrite it here. Yes, it did overwrite it. Okay, then we use the 10 point class, and let's go ahead and add id. Which id we have is paragraph, and oh, we need to use the class first, my bad. So class has less power than id, but let's use class to overwrite element. So we target class by using a dot and the class name, which is para here, and you can see para here. Let's zoom in a bit. Yes, the class name is para. We targeted the para. Color, let's say green again. Yes, the text did become green. So it is getting overwritten every time. This has 0 power, so this will not be applied. This has 1 power, but this has 10 power, so it is being overwritten by this. Let's go ahead and see id. Let's target the id. We can copy the id, and we target the id by using hash and then the id name, and let's set the color to be let's use the whiter one. Use hash, then the hex code, and then semicolon. So this is called a hex code. This is the color code we are getting. We just need to click here to be copied, and it will say copied, and then you can just type out the hash and then the color, the hex code. All right, so this will be now be applied. Yes, the white-ish, let's say. But I don't like that color. Let's use this one instead. Yeah, so this is being applied. This is this color. Great. So, but there's one more selector. They probably didn't include it. Not selector, let's say. But if I use the tag important like this will overwrite everything and turn the color to be red. So if you say exclamatory and then important, so this is saying it is the most important thing in CSS. So even the lowest powered universal selector is also overwriting the strongest ID power. There's one more selector, not selector per se, but inline. We've used inline, internal, and external CSS. Inline styles added an element, always overwrite any normal styles in author style sheets, as you can see. Let's go ahead and add style here. Style color white, let's say. So this will not be applied because we have stated important here. Yes, it did not work because of the important here. Let's delete the important, and then as we can see, okay, it turned white, so I can't even see the text. Let's use the background color black so we can see the white text. Yes, so we've turned the background color to be black, and the color is now white because the inline style defined the color to be white. I can select a color from here as well. It will use RGB, red, green, and blue, I guess. I'm not sure. Let's Google it. RGB meaning. Oh yeah, red, green, and blue. I forgot it. Sorry about it. All right, so the text has become white now. So the specificity is like this. So the least powerful one is the universal selector, then HTML element selector, then class selector, then ID selector, and then inline style or inline selector, I say, let's say. And then there's the important tag, which will overwrite everything. Anything you say anywhere, you can say color, whatever color. It doesn't care, it will just overwrite it. And let's turn it white and say important. Yes, it will overwrite everything. Also, there's one more thing I would like to show you guys, that if we use, let's say, para here and para here, so the same thing, it's same. Let's comment out the important. Let's delete the important. So I'm trying to show you guys something else. So where is it getting red from? Oh yeah, this is overwriting the class one. Let's delete it. And yeah, so the color should be now green, but this is the same style. But if I say blue here, it will be blue because it is the latest one. So in CSS, if I target both the selectors with same like class selector or same class id only be unique, id will only be unique, id will only be used once. So if I used red here, it will become red. So this green is being overwritten by the latest one, so the later one will always be applied. Let's create another one, color white. So the color will be white. It's becoming green first, then red, and then white. So the latest one will overwrite always. This is css specificity. There's one more thing, directly targeted elements versus inherited styles. So inheritance is a different topic altogether. We'll talk about that in the next video. But let's understand the uh, specificity of css one more time. So specificity is the algorithm used by browser to determine which css is more important or most relevant to an html element, which style will be applied. This is the calculated thing, which is id is the strongest among all four of these. Id is the strongest one, so it has like 100 power, let's say. The class is second strongest one, it has 10 power, 10 points. Type has like one power. Type is element, html element, as I've shown you guys here. HTML elements, we can target HTML elements as well. And the universal selector, it has 0 power, but yeah, it has 0 power. And then overwriting id is inline element. So if I give a style here like color red, it will overwrite every other thing. And then there's important tag, which will overwrite everything else. As you can see, the text has become white. All right, so that's about it for this video. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.